earlier this week, Massachusetts was one of the first states in the country to successfully implement the Pandemic Unemployment Assistance Program that was created under the Federal CARES Act. This program provides unemployment benefits for people who've lost their jobs due to COVID-19 but don't qualify for traditional unemployment because their companies aren't participating in the traditional system and therefore they don't either. They're typically people who we call and often refer to as the self-employed or gig workers or contractors or consultants. Because they don't have that traditional setup, we had to build a separate program to enroll them, to check out and clarify their valid eligibility for the program, and then based on the rules established under the Federal CARES Act, assist them financially according to that. This was a very big deal to set up, but it was a really important element in our program across the country and here in Massachusetts to support these people. Our teams at the Department of Unemployment Assurance and the Secretary of Labor and Workforce Development's office and our IT folks made tremendous progress and launched this system on Monday, which was 10 days ahead of our scheduled start date. So far, the system has processed well over 100,000 claims for this particular group of individuals, which is a big number that adds another dimension to the intensity of the crisis people face with respect to work. On the one hand, it's mind-boggling and concerning that so many people are filing for unemployment, but on the other hand, I'm glad our system has been able to keep up and actually process claims so that these folks can get the support that they need. Our platform for traditional unemployment has continued to process claims and hasn't crashed the way systems have in many other states. Hundreds of thousands of these claims have already been processed and checks have already been issued. Those checks do include the extra $600 a week that was part of another piece of the Federal CARES Act benefit, which has been implemented by our administration. I do want to thank Labor and Workforce Development Secretary Rosa Costa and her team for their incredibly hard work, and Kurt Wood at IT and his team for the work they did working side by side with Rosa's team to put this platform up and to get it to work. By launching this platform successfully and ahead of schedule, we've taken another big step toward helping all the workers here in the Commonwealth who lost their jobs as a result of the decisions that were made to deal with the spread associated with COVID-19. There's much more to do, and sadly, the economic toll that's with us is going to be with us for a while. There's no question about that. Yesterday, the federal government announced that there were over 80,000 new claims on the traditional unemployment system that were filed in Massachusetts. That number of new claims is smaller than what we've seen in previous weeks, which suggests that many people who've been hit by COVID-19 have already filed initial claims in previous weeks. But no mistake, make no mistake, that's still a huge number. If you go back to sort of the months of January and February, we would typically see somewhere between 7,000 and 10,000 new claims in a week. To have numbers like the ones we continue to have here are unprecedented and speak in very big, loud, and significant terms about how big a deal this economic downturn is here in the Commonwealth for people who are dealing with the loss of a job. In total, over 650,000 new claims have been filed since March 15th. We've worked pretty hard through that system, and over the course of this time, we're currently paying approximately 400,000 people, and obviously are working through the rest of the group that's currently in process. That 400,000 people is a really big number, 4 times the size of the number of people who are collecting unemployment benefits in the month of February. And obviously, we're grateful that we've been able to process those claims on behalf of those people who lost their jobs through no fault of their own. Those people are also receiving that extra $600 a week on top of their regular benefits, which was also part of the Federal CARES Act. But we know we have a lot more to do. This is an incredibly difficult time for many people, and we're working really hard to do all we can to make sure people get access to the benefits they're entitled to.